Take a look at this example from just over a week ago. The United States is running out of baby food and children are dying because, reportedly, of the country's sanctions against Russia and, apparently, because Joe Biden is putting his nose in other countries' affairs. This story aired on the Russian state media Channel 1, one of the most widely viewed Russian-language television channels. Ever since the war began, Moscow has not only been fighting on the ground in Ukraine, but it's also been waging an online information war, claiming that it is carrying out a special military operation to denazify and demilitarize Ukraine. And a number of channels, like Channel 1, have portrayed a very distorted image of the war, from downplaying Russian war casualties and losses to denying the mass killing of civilians in the town of Bucha and claiming, despite mounting evidence against the Kremlin, that it is Ukraine that has been staging these atrocities. And in recent weeks, there have been analysts saying that the Russian war narrative has been evolving. This latest report by NewsGuard has said that Channel 1 and others are now focusing on the economic situation in the West, and claiming that in countries like France and Germany, citizens are suffering hardship because of sanctions on Russia, and that people are paying the price for their government's stance on the Ukraine war. Here's what NewsGuard's senior reporter Madeleine Roach told Euronews about this so-called spiral of crises.
Putin has consolidated his grip on Russia's information space. The stories highlight the hardship of ordinary people. They say that owning a car is a luxury in the US, that people in Germany are being told to wash less often, to close the refrigerator door quicker in order to save on energy costs. It has never been harder for the state narrative to be challenged.
And this is another report on Channel 1 from May the 18th. It says that citizens in the United Kingdom are angry with their government because of its stance on the war in Ukraine, taking small clips or individual articles from Western news organizations and using them to exaggerate and try and discredit any support for Ukraine. So what we're seeing is a very pro-Kremlin narrative on Russian state television. There's very little example and very rare examples of any kind of dissent or opposition. And for many citizens in Russia, this is the normality that they have only ever been exposed to. Most major Western social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter, they've been blocked in the country, and independent news sites have been forced to close down in the face of prison sentences if they criticize the Russian military. So for 100 days, it's not just been a war on the ground in Ukraine. For Russia, it's also been an online war of disinformation and propaganda.